All right, who's ready for some more set it and forget it growing? Alrighty. How's everyone doing? Y'all ready? This is cool. I'm really excited because we've got, once again, going back to our roots, the off-grid hydroponics, the cracky style, and we've grown a lot of stuff. This isn't the basil jungle now. This is Sisho. This is a plant they use in Asian cuisine. A lot of them use it in sushi. Some of them even take these leaves and dip them in rice flour and deep fry them. Pretty cool stuff. So my wife loves this. She's really into sushi, and she's ready to get in here and harvest some of these leaves. So I wanted to make a quick video with you before she does, so you guys can see. Remember when we planted these out a couple of weeks ago, right? We bought this at a home improvement store, just transplants like you get at the nursery, rinsed off the roots, put them in here with nutrient solution, and just left it. You know, like I always tell you, honest engine, you know, I swear to God, my hand on the Bible or whatever, I haven't done anything to this. All we did was set them in here, just like you saw in the video, put them up on that shelf with the lights, and just left it. Now the lights go off at 11 p.m. at night, come back on at 6 o'clock in the morning, and basically they've just been on their own. Now normally I would let them go a little longer, but they've kind of reached up to the light, and you can see they form like this canopy, right? And these leaves are getting, look at that leaf, look how huge that leaf is. That's even big for a Sisho plant, I think. This is only like the second time I've grown these, but my other ones didn't grow this big. These are getting huge, and what's happening is these are blocking out the lights now, just like the Amazon has a canopy, right? They form this canopy, and if you look under here, you see a lot of little leaves, you know, that want to grow and take off, but they can't get any light. So I'm just going to go ahead and harvest the top ones here, let my wife have them. Let me show you real quick. I'll bring you in here. Here, there's one back here. All right. Isn't that cool? Look at the little leaves up here. And this is kind of like the basil. If you can see in here, you see right there at the stem, just like a tomato plant, it has suckers, right? It's got two more plants growing out that way, two stems. I'm going to cut these big plants here or there and give these little ones a chance to grow. And see all up under here, there's a lot of little leaves, but they're not getting any light. So we're going to go ahead and cut those. I think, you know, if this was outdoors where the sun could hit it everywhere, this thing would just be full of leaves, just bushy. But with just our light coming from the top and a little from the side, we've kind of stunted the growth on the bottom here. So we're going to go ahead and harvest some of these because those are big enough, right? And I just wanted to show you guys all of this because this gets me excited. I always get some people, you know, when I go to show stuff like this, you know, they go, oh, this is easier or this is easier. You know, that's not that easy. And pH and bubblers and aeration and blah, 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 blah. All these excuses, right? And they go, you can't do this and you can't do that. And I'm like, well, if I can't, then explain this. You know, so this, when we do things like this is the proof, right? So when we say, hey, you can just put plants in a bottle with some nutrient solution, you can grow stuff, and when people go, no, you can't. You know, it's one thing if we don't have any proof, but, you know, when we do things like this, you know, it's kind of hard to discount it, right? So I love doing things like this. I put it up on a shelf, just let it go. I would even let it go longer without even harvesting it just to see how big it would get. But like I said, we've kind of reached a max now. I think, you know, these are shading, so we're going to start harvesting, because if this was at home, that's what you would do too, right? You would come in and harvest these leaves and you want some more to grow. Now, as far as down here being the set it and forget it, haven't done anything to it. This one right here is the one that we painted with Plastidip, right? Painted black, painted it white. This is one we wrapped some foil on it, and the reason why I did that was because when I dropped this video, somebody down in the comments said I would like to see a comparison. You know, we were going to compare it being painted to just regular, and we're going to check and see how the algae growth was compared, you know, if any of them had algae and how much compared to each other at the end of the grow. And somebody said I would like to see you wrap one in foil. So since I just dropped that video and these were only a day old, I went right out and covered this one with foil. So this one's been covered just as long. So when we get done, you know, I'm not going to do it now. We're going to harvest some of the leaves, right? When we get completely done with this, we're going to go ahead and look inside and see how the algae growth is compared to blacking it out with paint, aluminum foil, and then just leaving it regular. Because right now I can tell you, I really don't see, you know, there's no green tint to, usually if there's algae growing already, you would see a kind of green tint, but I don't see anything, so we're not going to bother with it. And if I hold it up to the light, I can see the nutrient solution is right in here, right? So right now, I would keep it filled up in here. If you had this at home right now, I'm going to experiment. I like to push things to the limit, because if I do it to the extreme, then I know that you guys, if you take a little bit more care, that you can do it too. So if I were you, I would keep it filled up between here. You know, every couple days come in and just take it. You don't add too much, and then that way you don't put your roots in shock, right? You never want to fill it all the way back up. Remember the Kratky system, you're going to drown the air roots. So what you do is you don't want to leave this until it goes way down here and then fill it way back up. You put the plant in a shock. When it goes way down here, it starts growing air roots all around on those two, and you fill it back up and you drown a lot of those. So the plant is in here constantly adapting to the conditions, and when you drastically change it, you're going to put the plant in shock. So right now I would just keep adding a little bit at a time and just keeping it filled up. That's why some of the bigger systems that have a float work really well, because they maintain that level. So try that with your Kratky system. If you're having a problem, you might be, you know, letting it go down too low and filling it back up and just shocking your plant. So we're just going to leave these. I just wanted to show you because I'm tickled. Look at, this is, you remember when we planted it out? They were kind of different sizes. You know, we bought one plant, one container from the home improvement store, and there were some that were a little bigger than others. This is the smallest one that was in there. And even the smallest one, look at it. Isn't that awesome? That's so cool. It's just, set it and forget it. I mean, it just blows my mind. You know, the years I've been trying to do, you know, traditional garden, which I don't knock that. We've got a traditional garden outside with herbs. We've got tarragon and mint and sage and oregano and all kinds of stuff growing in it. So I'm not knocking a traditional garden, but we take care of that one a little. This one, I set it up there and I was gone. I just came back. If I could even be gone another 2 or 3 weeks, and if there was enough lights around it, this thing would just be, you know, huge. So this is what I get excited about on this channel. Like I said, we can show, like we showed the grow tower, the exo tower, which, I mean, that's over there right now. And the lettuce is just out of control. We're going to harvest that and take it outside. But by the way, Nicole at Exo Towers said that if any of you want to go over there, if you're interested in one, she's got a discount code for you. And it's, I'll put the discount code down there. You put this discount code in and you get 15% off that Exo Tower. You know, we can talk about like the garden tower we did some, in the NFT, you know, some of these newer things that I'm showing you with the aeration and the lettuce that we grew. So there's other things that you can do, but I always like getting back to the basics, because this stuff tickles me, because not everyone around the world can spend a couple $100 on a system, and not everyone around the world has the room to set up, you know, a big NFT system. But almost anyone, anywhere, can get a milk jug and some nutrients and grow some plants, right? So this is what we're busy. We're trying to tell everyone around the world. If we're on here just trying to make money, we'd just be putting up the biggest product and telling people to buy it, right? This is free. Anybody can do this. If you can order some nutrients, you can dig one of these out of recycling and you can grow you some food. That's what the world needs to know. That's what people need to know, is how to take care of themselves. You know, so if you're not going to grow all of your own food, it doesn't hurt having that knowledge in the back of your head that if something does happen, you know, I know there's things I can do. It's a terrible feeling being helpless. And suppose one day something happens and like you lose your job, right? And wouldn't you rather spend what money you have to hold you over till you get another job to buy things that your family needs? And if you could grow some of your own food and allocate your money in different ways, I mean, that's a fantastic, empowering feeling. So people, right after the war, they had victory gardens. Lots of people in America learned how to grow some of their own food, and we've all just kind of fell by the wayside and forgotten that. So I want everyone to know how to grow some of their own food, to have healthy greens whenever they want it. Look at I'll try and put it up here. Let me try to do this without knocking it over. Look at, isn't this fantastic? Just from one little container of Sisho. Look at that. It's a little garden. This is just in a couple of weeks, and I haven't done anything. All I did was put it up on the shelf with the grow lights and just let it go. So anybody, anywhere can grow some of their own food. You guys spread the word. Tell people this is possible. Everybody needs to be doing this. As always, lift, inspire, keep on growing, be the change, and go grow some food. All right? Much love.